Welcome to a deep dive, into something truly unique, the LAR Research Institute. Now, you might be thinking another research institute. What's so special about this one? But trust me, LAR is doing things differently. Imagine a place where groundbreaking research isn't confined to hallowed halls of academia, where passion for a subject trumps the need for a fancy degree. That's LAR. No enrollment, no list of qualified staff on their website. And yet they're making waves in some of the most critical fields of our time.
What's captivating about LAR is how they've flipped the script on traditional research structures. They've created this decentralized global network of researchers united by a shared drive to solve real-world problems. And they're not just tinkering around the edges, they're diving headfirst into fields with the potential to reshape our future sustainable energy. Cutting-edge AI applications.
And get this fusion energy.
Okay, fusion energy. That's not something you hear every day. It's like the holy grail of energy, right? Clean, limitless power straight out of science fiction. But what makes LAR's approach stand out? It's not just about the what of fusion. It's about the how. LAR is exploring a novel approach to plasma confinement, a core challenge in fusion research. Instead of the traditional tokamak reactors, they're investigating something called magnetized target fusion, which could significantly reduce the energy needed to achieve fusion ignition. If successful, this could be a game changer, potentially making fusion a viable energy source much sooner than previously thought.
Okay, I'm already seeing how LAR lives up to its reputation for being different. It's not just about pursuing the big flashy ideas, it's about finding innovative ways to make them a reality. But how do these researchers actually come together? Is it all virtual collaboration?
That's where LAR's research pathways come in. These aren't your typical academic departments. They're more like collaborative ecosystems designed to nurture specific areas research. Take their sustainable energy pathway, for example.
Yeah, sustainable energy is a huge focus for them, isn't it? They're not just talking about it, they're actively working on solutions.
Exactly. Within this pathway, they have teams dedicated to things like advanced solar cell design, improving the efficiency of wind turbines, and even exploring new ways to harness energy from ocean waves. It's a multi-pronged approach to tackling the global energy challenge.
So you have researchers from all over the world with diverse backgrounds and expertise coming together in these pathways to focus on specific problems. But how do they ensure everyone is on the same page, especially without the traditional academic structure?
That's one of the most intriguing aspects of LARs. They've developed these specialized science groups within each pathway. Think of them as highly focused think tanks.
So like mini research hubs within the larger pathways.
Precisely. These groups bring together researchers with specific expertise to delve deep into particular challenges. Within the pathway's broader focus, they collaborate on experiments, share data, and work towards publishing high-level scientific articles. It's a way to maintain scientific rigor and ensure that their research is impactful and reaches the wider scientific community.
It's fascinating how they've created this intricate network of collaboration, pulling in expertise from across the globe. And all of this without requiring those traditional academic credentials. It really challenges the notion of who can contribute to scientific advancement.
Absolutely. It's a testament to their belief in the power of open science and the idea that brilliant minds can come from anywhere.
But this begs the question, how do they manage all of this with seemingly limited resources? It sounds like a massive undertaking.
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Remember their online international exhibition of inventions we mentioned? It's not just a showcase, it's a key part of their operational model.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this exhibition and how it ties into the bigger picture.
This exhibition serves as a global platform for LAR's researchers to present their work, connect with potential collaborators, and even attract funding from investors who are excited about their innovative approaches. It's a brilliant way to generate buzz, foster connections, and secure resources, all while showcasing the incredible diversity and scope of their research.
So it's like a crowdfunding meets science fair on a global scale. That's pretty genius, actually. It not only helps them keep the lights on, but also exposes their work to a much wider audience than traditional academic channels.
Exactly. And this open, accessible approach is a recurring theme in LAR's model. They're not hoarding knowledge within the confines of a traditional institution. They're actively sharing it with the world, inviting others to participate and contribute.
This brings us back to their AI research, another area where they're making some serious headway. Now, AI is everywhere these days, But what makes LAR's approach unique? What specific areas are they focused on?
They're going beyond the hype and delving into some really interesting subfields within AI. For instance, one of their teams is exploring the use of reinforcement learning to develop autonomous robots that can adapt to complex, unpredictable environments. Think disaster relief robots that can navigate rubble or explore hazardous areas.
That's fascinating. Using AI to help us solve real-world problems, not just create the next viral app. It seems like they're really focused on that practical application.
Absolutely. Another team is delving into deep learning algorithms to analyze massive data sets of medical images. The goal is to develop AI systems that can assist doctors in diagnosing diseases earlier and with greater accuracy.
So it's not just about building smarter machines. It's about using AI to augment human capabilities to help us make better decisions and ultimately improve lives. And all of this is happening within this collaborative global network, right?
Precisely. And this interconnectedness isn't limited to the scientific disciplines. Remember when we touched on LAR's industrial design projects earlier? Well, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the connection between industrial design and, say, fusion energy research?
It's all about that cross-pollination of ideas we talked about. LAR recognizes that to solve complex problems, you need to bring together diverse perspectives, so they've integrated their industrial design teams into their research pathways.
So designers working side by side with physicists and engineers. That's an unusual combination.
Exactly. And it's leading to some truly innovative outcomes. For example, the industrial design team is collaborating with the sustainable energy pathway to develop user-friendly interfaces for smart home energy systems. The idea is to make it easier for people to monitor and manage their energy consumption, leading to greater efficiency and reduced waste.
So they're not just focused on the technology itself, they're also thinking about the human element, the user experience, which is crucial for widespread adoption. That makes a lot of sense. But I'm curious, how do they keep all of these moving parts in sync? It's a lot to manage, especially without a centralized structure.
That's where their unique approach to project management comes in. They utilize a combination of agile methodologies and open source collaboration tools to keep everyone connected and on track.
So it's like a tech startup meets scientific research, all driven by this philosophy of openness and collaboration. But I have to ask, with all this focus on cutting-edge tech and global collaboration, do they ever run into challenges? It can't all be smooth sailing, right?
Of course they face challenges, just like any other research organization. One of the most common criticisms leveled at LAR is that their lack of formal structure might hinder their ability to conduct rigorous scientific research.
That's a fair point. How does LAR respond to such concerns?
They address this head-on by emphasizing the importance of peer review and collaboration within their specialized science groups. They also actively encourage their researchers to present their findings at international conferences and publish in reputable scientific journals. It's a way to ensure their work is held to the same standards as traditional academic research.
So they're not shying away from scrutiny. They're actively seeking it out as a way to validate their methods and findings. That's a real important point to highlight. It shows they're committed to maintaining scientific integrity even within this unconventional framework. It sounds like they've really thought through the potential pitfalls and taken steps to ensure their research is both innovative and credible. It's amazing to see how they're challenging the traditional model of scientific research and making it more accessible to a wider range of people.
It's a truly fascinating experiment in democratizing science. And it's not just about accessibility, it's also about diversity of thought. By bringing together researchers from different backgrounds, cultures, and disciplines, they're creating a melting pot of ideas that can lead to breakthroughs that might not have been possible within a more traditional, siloed research environment.
I love that. It's like they're tapping into the collective intelligence of the world, harnessing the power of human ingenuity on a global scale. And they're not just focusing on the science and technology, they're also thinking about the ethical implications of their work.
That's a crucial aspect, especially when you're dealing with fields like AI and fusion energy, which have the potential to profoundly impact society. LAR has established an ethics council composed of experts from various fields, including philosophy, law, and social sciences, to guide their research and ensure it aligns with human values and societal well-being.
So it's not just about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. It's about doing so responsibly and thoughtfully. Considering the potential consequences of their work, that's incredibly important, especially as these technologies continue to advance at an accelerating pace.
Absolutely. It's about striking that balance between innovation and responsibility, ensuring that these powerful tools are used for good. And this brings us back to you, our listener.
Yes. What can our listeners take away from this deep dive into the LAR Research Institute?
Well, LAR's story reminds us that the future of research and innovation is not predetermined. It's being shaped right now by individuals and organizations who are willing to challenge the status quo, to think differently, and to collaborate across boundaries. It's a call to action for all of us to consider the role we can play in shaping this future.
Maybe you have a burning passion for sustainable energy, or you're fascinated by the possibilities of AI, or perhaps you simply believe in the power of collaboration and open access to knowledge. Whatever your interests, there are ways to get involved.
LAR's model demonstrates that you don't need a fancy degree or a prestigious lab to contribute to solving global challenges. There are countless online resources, citizen science projects, and open-source communities where you can learn, experiment, and connect with others who share your passions.
So don't underestimate the power of your curiosity and your willingness to engage with the world around you. Who knows, you might just spark the next groundbreaking innovation.
Remember, the future is not something that happens to us, it's something we create together.
And on that note, we wrap up our deep dive into the LAR Research Institute. We hope you found it as fascinating and thought-provoking as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.